Good afternoon, Madam Chair Hitchin and other committee members. Thank you very much for allowing us to speak to you today about this issue. I have in common with Sheriff Swank that I am not generally favorable to adding taxes, but this is one that's absolutely necessary. The last thing I ever really imagined doing was being up here in front of you supporting an additional sales tax, but here I am wholeheartedly in favor of this additional justice tax. The number one priority for government, including this local government, is keeping our public safe. And that includes police and fire protection. That entails prosecution and court costs. But that is the number one priority, and it's really a quality of life issue. I've heard and read a lot of comments online about the quality of life being impacted by taxes. But nothing would impact quality of life more, in my opinion, than this county not being able to adequately fund public safety, and that includes police, that includes prosecutors, and that includes courts. We have the lowest cops per capita. The state of Washington has the lowest cops per capita of anywhere in the country, and that's not a new statistic. That's been the case for well over a decade. We have long response times in this county. We have long response times where I live, if I need to call 911 and get law enforcement help. This is the largest part of the general fund that goes to law enforcement, that goes to prosecutors, that goes to courts. But the state has capped our ability to raise property tax. We raise property tax at 1% a year. And the last 5 years, the inflation has been between 3 and 9% for each of the last 5 years. It's no mystery why we're not able to keep up with increasing costs. We're losing ground every single year, and Ms. DeMuth pointed that out very aptly in her comments. I view this additional sales tax as giving us the ability to maintain the status quo. This isn't, in my view, a lot of new bells and whistles or a lot of improvements. There are some one-time costs for IT development, which will help us tremendously with the link system and with automating certain things that we do and probably saving money in the long run. But our office is running very lean. We're responsible with our budget. We come in under budget every single year. And we have tried to reduce costs for not only criminal prosecution, but for civil litigation to protect the general fund of this county. I agree with comments I've read about this tax imposing conditions on the sheriff. It does. I don't like that. The sheriff and the undersheriff have done the heavy lifting on this by submitting their application to the CJTC. But, you know, the federal government puts conditions on spending. The state government has put conditions on this spending, as you can, as a legislative body, put conditions on spending. So that's just something that I think is a unfortunate side issue with this particular tax, and I appreciate very much that the sheriff has decided to go forward and comply with those conditions imposed by the state. This is a maintenance provision that I hope can keep us operating at status quo. The sheriff's department is running more, you know, with unfilled vacancies and shorthanded all the time. We're also running a very lean shop, and I know the courts are too. I would like to give the president of one of our bargaining units the opportunity to address you too. You're here, Bryce Nelson.
Chair Hitchin, council members, thank you very much for the opportunity to briefly address you. My name is Bryce Nelson. I'm the president of the Pierce County Prosecuting Attorneys Association. We're the labor group representing over 110 deputy prosecutors. We also support this along the lines of what Prosecutor Robnett, Sheriff Swank said. You may wonder, given that you saw the pie charts and there really wasn't a lot for the prosecutor's office, but we're all interlinked in this system. And funds that help the sheriff's department help us at the prosecutor's office as well. We cannot do our job effectively without law enforcement, and this measure will help the sheriff's department do their job effectively. So I thank you very much for the opportunity to address you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.